So if some of you watched my video on how to create an op art hand with the warm, cool colors, this is a little twist on this for kids who want to challenge themselves, especially my upper grades. You did see in that video that I used some complementary colors and shading techniques with just crayon this one. This project that I'm going to show you right now is how to use that same technique, but in a more challenging way with just a pencil or colored pencils, and to do it with a different kind of shape. So I'm going to use a heart. So if you want to create something that is symmetrical, remember we talked about how symmetry means that it's the same on both sides. If you take your paper and you fold it in half, and it doesn't matter which direction you do, it could be horizontal or vertical, and then you use your pencil to draw half of whatever shape you want. So I'm going to do a heart, and I'm going to go over this 2 times. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going over it a second time so that I have all of that graphite from the pencil on there. And then I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it back in half, and I'm going to rub it with the palm of my hand, and that'll transfer a little bit of that graphite onto the other side so you can trace it, and your object or your shape, whatever it happens to be, is going to look symmetrical. It's going to be symmetrical, so it's going to print on the other side. And of course it didn't do it really super well for me. Let's try again. It might help too if I use the eraser side of my pencil and kind of press hard on the back side so you can see a little bit kind of where that paper's or that graphite is showing through. There we go. There, so now it's printed onto the other side, kind of like what we did with our Dia de los Muertos skulls in that white paint. So there's my symmetrical heart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw straight lines very similar to what I showed you with that hand project. And again, if you don't have a ruler to draw a straight line, you can take a piece of paper and fold it lots and lots of times to make a nice crisp edge. And I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to make lots of little really close together lines, and this is going to help more with the illusion. So the closer your lines are together, the more opportunities you have to add different kinds of value. So I'm going to go all the way up my paper. Remember, skipping over, just like in the hand vid, skipping over the object. Okay. I've done that. Are evenly spaced. So I like to work from one side to the other, and it should probably be a little bit more curved. There we go. And then that one would be there. Again, this is where it can get really tricky. Okay, so you can see that it's kind of starting to look three-dimensional, like it's putting up. Now is when that value change knowledge and skill that we have already practiced comes really in handy. So you could use color pencils, you could use crayons, or if you really want to, you can just try it out with your regular pencil. And you're going to, like I showed you in the art one with the 8 like spider web looking one, add that very light layer first, and we're going to use that curvature, curving with our lines. So we've already drawn these lines. I'm drawing it nice and light at first. So each stripe within the shape will be a different value in a kind of a pattern. Or you could do it with black and white in the heart and color on the outside, or vice versa. So I'm going to show you how to get that started. So I'm going to add a light layer to the whole stripe here. Again, curving with the lines that we've already drawn. Because if you color up and down, it's going to look really silly. So I'm not going to sit here and color the whole thing. I'm going to zoom in just a smidge. It doesn't want to zoom. Oh well. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to add that another layer starting near the edge and curving very, very carefully. And then maybe in this stripe here, I have more, it's going to be darker. Speed up a little bit. Remember, the closer we get to the tip of our pencil, the harder we're going to push. So if you want, you could do the same value throughout the whole heart and make it look like that. And you could go back and erase these pencil lines here. Let me just show you this. There's so many different ways you can do this. It's mainly just to practice creating different values. So if I erase those pencil lines, I can still see them. So I can still create that light layer and curve with the shape. And this is a project that's going to take patience. So it's probably going to take you, work on it for 20 minutes today and come back to it in a couple of days and work on it for another 20 minutes. It's not going to be instant. Practice, 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 right? So if I erased all of that, I could still see where it is and go back and add that dark shadowy area here. Curving still to make it look three-dimensional. And then on the outside here, still very similar to what we did in the shape. Could totally erase these lines too. And again, this is just if I'm using regular pencil. So if you're using colored pencil, you could change colors. You could do complementary colors like I did with the crayons in the other video. You could do, warm colors or cool colors. Here's another complementary colors. But this is if you are just doing regular pencil, just regular pencil. So, and then in these areas here, I'm going to add a little bit of a darker value to make it look like there's that shadow. And all I'm doing is quick, quick, quick lines. And then I go back and I add a few more. And since I'm going horizontally here, but I'm curving here, you're going to be able to see that edge. Isn't that cool? So you could do this with the heart like I showed here. You could do it with the hand still. So again, with those curved lines, and you add that light layer. You could even try to do it with like a bubble letter. So if you go to the video where I show you how to do patterned letters, it's in the second grade section. So if you have a big letter like this, and I'm going to do the letter A because it's really easy for me to draw. My daughter's name starts with A. I have that bubble letter. I could do that with that same technique. So I have those stripes here. Those stripes are mainly a guide. They're to help you curve. So if you just draw some very light curved lines like this area, again, weird, but to make that shadowy area, make it look like a bubble. And then this will just come straight out like so. I'm going to speed up now. So it looks like this bubble letter is kind of popping off the page. So shoot me an email if you need any, if you have any questions. You can send me pictures. I would love to see pictures of all of your artwork, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye.